stuff that much.
Yeah.
She wasn't into that. She just liked having fun, wasn't worried about materialistic things. She was with her friends all the time. I heard from her even before we went out at midnight. It was the last time I heard from her, and she was fine. But I was like, does it make sense? The door locks with the number code. Every time you open it, like I had to go back to it, I had to go around the house to get in the house because of the number code. So they either knew that or they just kind of went around and found the slider open. They were just hanging out at home.
Yeah.
Xana was hanging out at home with her boyfriend. Things her and Ethan were together about a year, give or take some, whatever. But she really, when I went up there, I saw her just a week before that. She changed a lot. She had a life. She got to see what it was to have a boyfriend to live with and have a real life. And she really turned around and was the drama stuff that much.
Yeah.
She wasn't into that. She just liked having fun, wasn't worried about materialistic things. She was with her friends all the time. I heard from her even before we went out at midnight. It was the last time I heard from her, and she was fine. But I was like, does it make sense? The door locks with the number code. Every time you open it, like I had to go back to it, I had to go around the house to get in the house because of the number code. So they either knew that or they just kind of went around and found the slider open. They were just hanging out at home.
Yeah.
Xana was hanging out at home with her boyfriend. Her and Ethan were together about a year, give or take some, whatever. But she really, when I went up there, I saw her just a week before that. She changed a lot. She had a life. She got to see what it was to have a boyfriend to live with and have a real life. And she really turned around and was the drama stuff that much.
Yeah.
She wasn't into that. She just liked having fun, wasn't worried about materialistic things. She was with her friends all the time. I heard from her even before we went out at midnight. It was the last time I heard from her, and she was fine. But I was like, does it make sense? The door locks with the number code. Every time you open it, like I had to go back to it, I had to go around the house to get in the house because of the number code. So they either knew that or they just kind of went around and found the slider open. They were just hanging out at home.
Yeah.
Xana was hanging out at home with her boyfriend.
Thickest. Who's most likely to get arrested? Who's the craziest? Who's the most popular? Who gets the most attention from other guys? Who has the best taste in guys? Who's the sensitive one? Who's the meanie? Who's the prettiest? Who's the best at advice? Who's the best dancer? Who's got the best style?
Welcome back to my Mental Health and Crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is my thoughts, my speculations. I'm starting to find and build the connections with the university people. We all know that Scott Green is the president of the university.
Because a number of our students still want to go to class. They gain comfort in being around their other students. They gain comfort from interacting and staying busy with their faculty and attending classes, labs. Some are working on their semester projects. So we've heard from them. At the same time, we want to provide the ability for any student who did not feel comfortable staying around, who did not want, who was unable to process that way, that they had that opportunity to go, and we've been helping them as well. All these absences are excused. We've asked our faculty to work with those students who chose to go, so we felt this is the best way, to respond, to give as much flexibility as we could to our students and our faculty. And frankly, I think they've done a very, very good job.
Scott Green is the president of Idaho Moscow University or college. His son, Nick, Green is the president of Alpha Kappa Lambda. Nick Green is the president of Alpha Kappa Lambda. I love analyzing behavior as a cognitive behavior therapist. Looking at connections is important, it's crucial. Who's connected to who? This is the president of Alpha Kappa Lambda. His name is Nick Green. His father is the president of the university, Scott Green. You may be wondering why it's important. This is the reason it's important. The president of the university, Scott Green, his son, Nick Green, is the frat president of the Bandfield boys and Saeed. The frat president is supposed to know everything. Where his brothers are, where his fraternity members are. And we have 3 boys from Alpha Kappa Lambda, the fraternity that is under Scott Green, his son, Nick Green. What were these boys doing and where did they come from? Everyone knows, it's not a secret that I don't give up on Bandfield and the grub truck, because that is clear evidence that law enforcement has put out there. This is a body cam from the police. And when, to start with, we use our common sense, something is clearly wrong with the Bandfield boys and the undercover cops. The whole interaction doesn't make sense at all. This young man on the left, Ethan Knight, has a case pending on him. He unalived his father, trigger warning, and the father's dog under self-defense. You can go look it up. The prosecutor was against him and said that it wasn't self-defense, that he pre-planned it. So when this happened, the quadruples, on the 13th of November 2022, his case was pending. He was under bail for $25,000. I did my research on the young man with glasses. The police didn't even tell him to take off his glasses. Don't you find that strange? This is Taylor Parker. And he was at the Bandfield with his hands crossed. He goes to the same Alpha Kappa Lambda with, here is the second guy at Bandfield. He goes to Alpha Kappa Lambda, University of Idaho. That's his frat. his fraternity, Alpha Kappa Lambda. Ethan Knight, he's the young man that unalived his father and the father's dog under self-defense. His case was pending. He was on bail. This is the third member, Peter Reagan. He goes to the same frat, Alpha Kappa Lambda. These are the three young men who were at the Bandfield. I hope you're catching up with the connections. Now this is Alpha Kappa Lambda is President Nick Green. Nick Green is the son of the president of the university, Scott Green. So he's in charge of the three boys at Bandfield and most likely Saeed too, because Saeed is from the same frat. The three boys at Bandfield and Saeed, the fourth person, like I always said, who looked like he was distracting the undercover cops from searching the boys. They all are under Alpha Kappa Lambda fraternity. So they all were crossing the field to get home when they were stopped by the cops. Saeed was clearly telling the cops, "What's up?" The way the undercover cops were talking to him was very friendly. Nobody was searched. Nobody was told to take off the night goggles or whatever it was, night glasses. Nobody was told to put their hands down. Saeed was watching Kaylee in the sitting position in a very bad manner. So, could be a cover-up in a sense that the president, Scott Green, allegedly, his son, Nick Green, is in charge of the Bandfield boys and Saeed. Where were they? Where were they coming from? They could have been at Matt's house for a bit and then gone to 1122 Kings Road. Something could have kicked off and they ended up unaliving Ethan and Xana. The reason I say that is because I've always believed and I've always said they're just two separate incidents. I've always believed Ethan and Xana, unfortunately, were deleted first. It's just my speculation, and I always go by the timeline of 3 to 4. But Ethan and Xana was between 2 to 2:15. Something broke out. And the frat Alpha Kappa Lambda, his president himself said that he's friends with Ethan and Xana. So these boys came for Ethan and Xana, in my opinion. Saeed is watching the pictures. He paid a Venmo at 2:13. Everyone seems to be bidding for these pictures or paying. And he paid it to David Baracho from the Sigma Chi. I believe these boys and this frat came for Ethan and Xana. And they have to cover it up because the frat president, even if he's not involved, has to cover up for his frat. This is the Greek lifestyle. These people make promises, oaths to protect each other, never to snitch on each other. It's like a brotherhood. That night looked so much like rituals were going on. All their phones should have been taken from them. Why are they just checking Brian Kohlberger's movements? Why don't they check from all the towers, all the people who were on their phones that night? Why aren't they doing that? They would have had a better picture. Why are they focused only on a white Hyundai Elantra and cars? Why aren't they focused on the main thing? People were on foot. Look at these three guys. Look at Saeed. It doesn't mean the Sigma Chi fraternity wasn't involved. I believe they were involved with Maddie and Kaylee. And I'll tell you in my next clip more about that. Ethan and Xana's timeline was the one the cops had a difficult time getting right. So the students, the university, ran away with their own timeline. They covered up the fact that Ethan and Xana were the Sigma Chi fraternity up to 2:10, according to the last text message Ethan made to his friend, allegedly. What is Saeed watching? He paid for his own. They all have some involvement in this, and it wouldn't look right for the president of the university, the businessman Scott Green, and his son Nick to go down, or their names to be mentioned. Many powerful kids are involved, whether they're not directly involved, like Scott Green, his son Nick. He is indirectly involved because he's in charge of these 4 people we see here. Don't they have cameras in Alpha, Kappa, or Kemma,